Good afternoon, students. Now I want to explain rate law and order of the reaction. What is rate law? Rate law means explains that depends upon the rate of reaction on concentration of species in a reaction. How to calculate the rate law? The dependence is very complex as of change in concentration of species. That depends upon the rate law depends upon the concentration of the species. This is very complex as it changes with change in concentration of species. That's why we only study the simplest form of dependence. We only study the simplest form of dependence. That only method is experimental method. What is the rate law is depends upon the concentration of the species in a reaction. If that is the species, the concentration is changes. Dependence is very complex as it is changes with change in concentration of time. That's why you have to determine the rate law of reaction. That is determined by the experimentally easily. You cannot not only study the simplest form of dependence, that is experimentally only you can determine the rate of law of the reaction. For example, if you take concentration of 2A plus B gives rise to product. Experimentally, if concentration of A is double, rate of reaction is double. That is, rate of reaction is directly proportional to 1. If concentration of B is double, rate of reaction increases 4 times. For example, if you take, then rate constant, rate of reaction is concentration of B to the power of square, double. If rate of reaction is equal to K into concentration of to the power of N, concentration of B to the power of square, the rate law expression, this is the rate law expression. If 2A plus B gives rise to products, rate of reaction of concentration is directly proportional to concentration of A to the power of X. Rate of reaction is concentration to B to the power of Y. The rate of reaction is equal to K into concentration of A to the power of X into B to the power. This is the rate law expression. According to Goldberg and Weig, law of mass action we already discussed in the chemical equilibrium. The rate of reaction is equal to K into concentration of A square into concentration of B to the power of 1. That is square of this stoichiometric coefficient, but this is not valid 100%. That is rate of reaction is calculated through experimental only. This is the discussion you have to remember. Thank you.